Hi, so it's been a while. I just wanted to share something um, to you guys because I have been learning JavaScript for a while now and started incorporating JavaScript into my projects. So I wanted to create a responsive navbar and you see with JavaScript. I used to just use some CSS tricks to do that, but now I've decided to use JavaScript. So I looked for tutorials on YouTube and shout out to two of the YouTubers that I consider one of my mentors. Um, I will link their YouTube channel in the description box below. So I'm sure you know them, DevEd and Code and Create. They're one of the best teachers that you could have on YouTube. But I find this is some kind of fusion to their versions of responsive navbar. I find they're great, by the way, but I find their um, code too advanced for me. So that's why I kind of make this a simpler version. So here we go. So I already have here index.html, style, CSS, and script, the JS. So let's start with a boilerplate. So let's edit the title, responsive navbar, and let's link the two files. So for CSS, that's style CSS, and for source. All right. So first thing that we're going to do is to, of course, start with using the nav tag or nav element. Let's give it a class of nav menu. So our nav menu will have three how do you call that, containers, or three main sections. So the first one will be a div container that houses the logo. So we will give that a class of logo, and it's just a text. For this one, you can have an image or whatever. The next section will be the UL element. So UL element, and let's give that a class of nav links. I'm going to have 4 links here, so let's just this will be our home. Let's copy this 3 times over. So you have home, about, and the last one will be projects. The last main section would be the div container that will contain or houses the lines. So we will give this a class of burger, and we are going to have 3 divs within this div container. So that's, and we'll for the first div container, we will give it a class of line and line 1. You will know later why. So for the 3 divs, we will have a common class of line. So automatically that's line 2, line 3. Okay, so save. So that's it. This is our HTML. Now that we're done with the HTML, let's go to our CSS. So let's style the this universal. Let's delete the extra spaces first. So padding and Is this box? No, border box. Border. Is that it's box sizing? It's box sizing. I'm sorry. Okay. Now for the body, I wanted the text to be all in uppercase, so let's give it a property of text transform. I wanted to use white smoke as the color of the text. Now let's go to the nav. Let's give it a display of flex. Justify content space around. Okay, notice that I did not specify what direction this is, so this is automatically going to be in a row direction. So that means the justify content is the alignment of the items with respect to the main axis, which in this case is from left to right, and then align items is just the opposite of that, and that will have a value of center. Let's give it a minimum height of 8, viewport height. Background color, let's just use black. Let's make this simple. Now let's style the logo. I know it's just a text, but let's style it a bit. So letter spacing 5 pixels, font size 25 pixels. Let's give it a cursor pointer. Now let's go to the nav links. Remember, this is our UL tag. So again, let's give it a display of flex. Justify content space evenly. So I've already discussed this earlier. Let's give it a width of 30%. 30% of its parent. Now for the nav links, let's target the lists. So, first let's check if everything is working. So right click. Hold on, let's expand this. Okay, it's working. Now let's delete the bullets. So back to our style sheet. Let's give it a list style of none. Save. So now it's gone. And then next is nav links targeting the anchor tag. So let's give it a color white smoke. So text decoration none to delete this border below the text. So none. And then let's give it a letter spacing. So it just looks better if it has some spacing between the letters. Font weight, let's give it some font weight, and then font size 14 pixels. Save. Okay, you notice that there's a big space in the right, so we wanted to move these links to the right so that it will have the same space with the nav. So what we're going to do is we target the burger. Remember, this is the container that houses the 3 divs that will be supposed to have the lines. So cursor, pointer, and the way to do that is to give it a property of this display none. Okay, so you notice now that the links moved to the right. To show you again, I'll comment this out. Here it looks like that if we won't give it the display of none. So we give it a display of none, it moves, and it has the same spacing already with our logo. Now let's target the div containers within the burger container. So let's give it a 25 pixel width, a height of maybe 3 pixels, some background color. I wanted to give white smoke just to be consistent. Margin, we're giving it a margin of 4 pixels, meaning space from top, bottom, left, and right. Okay, so okay, how does it look? Okay, now we wanted to display the burger in the smaller screen. So next thing that we're going to do is create a media query. So let's say max width 768 pixels. So let's target the nav links again. As you remember, this is the UL element, UL tag. Let's give it a position of fixed, and then I wanted to give it a width of 50%, meaning 50% of the screen. Let's give it a height of 92 viewport height. Why 92? It's because, hold on, okay, since we are starting at the below this one, remember that we gave our this nav element a minimum height of 8 viewport height. So meaning we're starting at the top, exactly at the 8 viewport height, so downwards. That means a total of 92 height. So I hope you get my point. So background color, let's give it black. Again, I wanted to give it a display of flex. This time I will indicate or specify a direction, which is column. So that means justify content space around. This means aligning our items with respect to the main axis, which in this case is from top to bottom. Align items is just the opposite of that. And I'm giving that a value of center. I don't want any overflow, so alright. Next is, so we wanted at the smaller screen, we wanted to the burger to appear. So from display none, let's give it a display block. So let's check on a smaller screen. Okay, so our burger shows up. Okay, this is our our UL. You might not notice that this is 50%. Remember that we gave that the width of 50%, but this is actually 50% of the total width of the screen. of the current screen size. We will fix that later. So let's move first to the next tag or element. Let's style first the nav links, the anchor tag. Oh no, I wanted to give this some transition so that it will look a bit fancier. And then some hover effect. So from white smoke, let's give it a white color. And then a font size of from 14 to 16. So let's check how it looks. So once you hover over the links, the text increases, and the color actually changes. It brightens from white smoke to white. So you won't notice it, but it's actually there. It's subtle though. Okay, now let's fix our burger menu. Now this is a time that we're going to incorporate some JavaScript. Alright, so what we're going to do is select the section, the container that contains this burger. So we will say query selector, burger, and then we will add a method which is add event listener. So obviously from its name it attaches an event. It's an event handler. So once you select that burger menu, so we say click that, and then this one means anonymous function, and then we wanted to fire this function or method inside this one. So query selector, the whole entire nav menu. Remember, this is the class of the nav element, and add a class list. Toggle, and we wanted to give it a name of change. Okay, again, so what this does is that we basically select that section, this burger. Remember, this is a class of burger, and then we added the method, an event handler. So once you click what you have selected, it fires this function here. So let's go back to our CSS and apply the change, the class list that we have indicated in our JavaScript. Let's move this one so that it would look nicer. So change, we say change. This is the class list that we created in our JavaScript. Nav links, this is the UL tag, remember? See, we wanted to position that at 0. Okay, nothing's happening yet. Wait, because we wanted the default position, let's put it here. We wanted a default position of -50%. What does that mean? Obviously you didn't see it. So meaning at the default, when you're not clicking the burger menu, it's located in the rightmost -50% of this of this screen. So since this is 0, so it's located at the rightmost. So when you click this one, what this does here, what this does is it moves to the 0 position, right? So as you can see, we wanted to add some transition so that it won't just flicker. So let's give it a transition right 0.5 seconds is a good. So it looks decent already. I'm happy with it. If you wanted it to look, say 1 second, I think that's too much. Yeah, that's too much. 0.5 is good. So that's the first application of the class list that we have created. Next is we wanted this navbar, this burger menu to turn into X when you click this one. So where should I place? Okay, let's just place it below. So change. Now we target remember the first div, we had a class, we gave it a class of line 1. So let's transform. Okay. So rotate -45 degrees, and then translate. We will give it the translate value of -5 pixel for the x-axis, and for the y is 6 pixels. Okay, and for the line 2, so for the line 2, we don't want this to show because this was supposed to be turned into X, so we only need 2 lines, right? So we will give it an opacity of 0, visibility of hidden, right? And then for the last line, again, let's just copy this one. What we're going to change is the the y value of the translate. So instead of 6 pixels, we will make it -6 pixels. So let's check. Oops, it's not working. What did I do wrong? Oh, I should give it, this should be +45 degrees, by the way. So that looks odd. Hold on. Okay. Does it look odd to you? Anyway. So let's double check. Change line 1, transform, rotate -45 degrees. Right? And then translate -5 pixels, and then 6 pixels. For the y, change opacity 0. For line 3, transform, rotate 45 degrees. Should be -5 pixels, -6 pixels. Yeah, I seem right. I think it just looked a bit off, but I think it's right. It's okay, right? Pretty happy with it, so this really looked off. Wait, hold on. That looks awful. So I think it's really just that. I think that looks fine, right? So again, let's expand this one, and as you can see, our links, the spacing is it's spaced out evenly, and then when you go to a smaller screen size, this turns into a hamburger menu, and then when you click the hamburger menu, it shows up, the link shows up. It has an hover effect, and then it turns into an X. Then yeah, that's it. This is my version of a simpler version of responsive navbar with JavaScript. So I hope you like it. I will link the source code below if you weren't able to follow this through step by step. So yes, thank you for watching, and bye.